It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling. There's no one else here that I see but you. It's what you're doing that's making me feel like I'm falling. Yeah, I'm falling in love.
Hi guys, Angel here with Forever Honeymooning, and it's been a while since we've done a video. We've kind of neglected the channel, and I apologize for that. Not a bad thing. We've been traveling a lot, and I gotta be honest with you, it takes a lot of time to make these videos, and so things have kind of returned to normal. We're back in office, we're working a lot, but either way, we're still traveling, and maybe we'll share some of those videos with you. The other thing we've neglected is CJ, our travel trailer, and the water heater. And so today we're going to focus on changing the anode rod on the water heater. We've made a mistake. We're pretty good at maintenance. We're pretty good at taking care of things, except we forgot about this. And so this could be an adventure and it could be a disaster. So let's find out what's going on. There's a few things you need to get started, and here they are. Okay, there's only a few things you actually need to do this. So, of course, you're going to need the anode rod, and this is two sets, or a set of two, so we're only going to use one today. You're going to need a size 27 metric socket, and then you're going to need an extension, a 1/2 inch, along with the wrench. You're going to need a little bit of Teflon pipe thread, tape, I should say. And then we're also going to use this water heater tank rinser, and I'll show you how this is used and why. And then, of course, a knife just to open up all the packaging. But it's really not a whole lot is necessary for this. Now, there's a couple different ways to relieve pressure and drain the pipes. So I've already removed most of the water, and I'm just going to turn on my hot water faucet just to make sure there's not any additional pressure. And then, more importantly, I want to make sure all the heating elements are turned off. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure the water heater is turned off, both gas and electric. I have both, but there's another spot I'm going to check it. The other thing I've done is I'm actually going to kill the power to the unit. Probably a big waste of time, but I'm going to do it anyway. Now on the Suburban unit, you'll see there's also a power inside there, and I'm just going to place that into the off position, and we'll turn it back on later. All right, so everything's turned off. We're good to go. We've got all our supplies. I'm going to take this, and I'm actually going to hopefully be able to remove the existing rod. Now, it's kind of rusted in there, and I mean, maybe say a prayer for us. We'll see how this goes. So far, so good. It's turning pretty easily. And we might at least be able to get this off. Now, when you first get the anode rod, it looks kind of like this. That's what it's like brand new. Let's see how this one has turned out. Oh, not good, not good at all. We actually don't have anything less. This could be a costly mistake. So next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to clear this out and clean out as much as I can. And it may take a few minutes. Hopefully we can get all the sediment, all the rust out of it. And that's why you wanna replace these every year. I'm just using the old rod to kind of break it up a little bit. Some of the water is going to come out of here. More importantly, we want to get as much sediment as we can. Now you can see we still have a lot of sediment built up here, and I have to be careful because I have to kind of get this off without damaging threads or causing any damage on the inside. So what I got is an old ice pick, but I'm gently just pushing on it. We have to have enough room to get the anode rod in. And if you do this every year, you're not going to have to take as much time as I am, and you're not going to have to really worry about this. Okay, we're going to let this drain for a little bit longer, and then we're going to clean it out. Now we still had, even though we drained everything, there's still quite a bit of water in there. This is why it's so important you don't just turn off your water heater and start working. You don't want that scalding water coming out. It's actually been a week or two since I turned it off. So I'm going to take this brush and just kind of move it around a little bit. Not too much. I don't want to cause any additional damage, but I just want to try to get a little bit more of it clean. And these are wire bristle, but they're not too hard. and it looks a lot better, but I'm not done yet. Okay, earlier I showed you that one of the items was a water, basically a rinser. And so this allows you, you know, this hose is going to be a little thick, but what we want to do is we want to get up inside there and we want to flush out any additional sediment and rust. Now you can see it's pretty clean, but I'm still going to turn this on and I'm probably going to get wet. I do want some good pressure in there. And you can see there's a little bit of sediment still coming out, but not too much. The good thing is I didn't see a lot of rust coming out. So these deposits are still not good, and this is really a failure on our part. Now, I've been moving this wand in here for about 2 minutes now, and there's still a little bit of sediment coming out, not much, so I'm just about done. But take your time. It's, you know, don't be in a hurry. You're gonna get wet, which is ironic because well, my feet are getting cold, and we're here in the deserts of California, but it's actually a nice, cool fall day. All right, so we're pretty clean in there. It doesn't look bad. You can see there's quite a bit of sediment on the ground here. Plus, I've already rinsed away quite a bit of it, but it's this was not good on our part. So now our next step is we're gonna replace the anode rod. Okay, so you can tell there is a significant difference between the two of these. And again, not a good thing, but so far so good. I think we dodged a bullet. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna apply some tape onto this thread, and you wanna apply it clockwise in the manner that it's facing towards, I guess is a way to look at it. And so this appears to be just regular Teflon tape, but it does feel a little bit different. But I'm just gonna play this on, make sure that you're pulling it tight, and just go around one or two or a couple times. Okay, so I have the tape on here, nice and smooth. You want to take off all this residual if you can. And I do want to say thank you to this creative work desk I came up with. It's actually a full-size arcade game box, and maybe I'll show you another video on that someday. I'm still an 80s kid and I love those. But we've got this on, and it's important that you put the tape on clockwise. And the reason for that I'll show you in a moment. If you don't, it's actually going to start to unravel as you thread it in. All right, so we're rinsed out. The water stopped coming out. Now we're going to gently slide this in, and we're going to put a couple of hand twists in here. And that loose tape is not from the actual threads. It's just I didn't clean it off as well as I should have. And we're going to tighten it up. Now, you don't want to over tighten it. Once it starts kind of giving you resistance, give it maybe a little eighth of a turn, if that, and pull back. And now what we're going to do is basically charge it with water and see if it leaks. All right, so we've put everything back, and I've turned the water on. I've been running it for a little while. I cleaned all this off with a towel. So far, it does not appear that I have anything leaking, so you might have dodged a bullet. What I'm gonna do then is I'm gonna wait probably an hour or two, check to make sure I don't have any leaks, and then I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the water heater and make sure everything is functional. But I ran water inside, nothing's leaking on the inside. It appears everything's okay. And frankly, this is a really easy thing to change. So had I done this 2 years ago, I would have been done with this in less than 5 minutes. So make sure once a year you're jumping on. You can buy those anode rods for like $8 or $10. You're gonna have to buy the socket if you don't have it, but it's a very simple fix. So make sure you're jumping on top of that. Thank you again for watching. We do appreciate likes, and we definitely like subscriptions. And I promise we'll start doing some more videos. Give us an idea of what you want to hear about. Now, we don't just do RV travel. We travel all over the world. And so we'll start throwing some videos. We'll tell you about some cruises. We've got a really exciting trip coming up that we'll make sure that we do a video for. But if you have something, whether it's on hiking, whether it's travel, or if it's something that has to do with a travel trailer or an RV, and you want to learn more about it, let us know. So thanks again for watching, and go out there and enjoy the adventure.